Welcome to the Curiosity Portal, where curiosity becomes the catalyst for transformation. I'm your host, Colleen, and each week we'll explore the mysteries of consciousness, the subconscious, intuition, manifestation, science, and magic, and what it truly means to create a life by design. Let's step through the portal. Welcome to episode 1, season 1 of the Curiosity Portal podcast. All you magical souls out there, I'm super happy to be bringing this to fruition, finally. I'm excited to dive into this journey. We're going to go down some rabbit holes. We're going to explore the mysteries of the universe, and we're going to have fun. I invite you to stay curious as we enter this portal together. Season 1 of this podcast is going to be all about rethinking reality. I want you to hold this question with you the entire season. What if reality is far more responsive to the inner world than we've ever been taught? Okay? We're going to dive a little deeper on that. And we're going to start first off with the mind. The magical computer mechanism of the mind itself. So, when you want to get a new car or new something, we'll just stick with car for right now, and you're putting it on your vision board, you're probably doing a bunch of research into the specific car, and all of a sudden you start seeing that car literally everywhere. Everywhere you drive, you see that car. Like, let's just say a blue Jeep. You didn't even see blue cars to begin with, and all of a sudden you're seeing a blue Jeep everywhere. This literally has to do with the way your mind is receiving information. It's going to filter out and in what it deems to be important and not important. So you're doing all the research. You're saying, this car is important to me. The mind is like, got it. This car is important to them. Let's filter that information in so they begin to notice it all around. There's not like a surplus of these blue Jeeps everywhere. They've always been there. Your mind has just been kind of filtering that out because it wasn't important. So why does this happen? Like, what is going on? Okay. I want to stop for a second and I want to imagine all of the billions and trillions and gajillion, million, zillion bits of information in the world. So, when you go on your phone and you scroll on it, it's like it's endless, right? There's so much information out there. Same thing with the world around us. There's so much information out there. And your brain is this giant supercomputer. It's only going to take in and process the information that's important, that you've deemed important to your brain and important for the operating system as a whole. If the brain were to process all of the information coming at us at one time, you would probably short circuit and explode, which thankfully we don't really have to worry about that because the brain is doing what the brain does. But there's absolutely no way that that would even be possible. So in neuroscience, is starting to prove that there is a bundle of nerves, and it's called the reticular activating system, and we'll call it the RAS for short. And this bundle of nerves, the entire purpose of it is to act as a filter. Okay, so it's asking the question, what actually matters? And it's going to filter in what actually matters. So, like, we're putting the blue Jeep on our vision board, we're doing research about pricing, we're looking at dealerships, we're uh, creating this blue Jeep into our reality and saying this actually matters. So whenever you see that around, it's going to process that information and that data, and you're going to see more of it because it's important to you. And the reticular activating system knows that it's important to you. It's the same thing with the way we perceive the world as well. If you're seeing the world through a more grateful and fulfilled lens, there's going to be more things that you're going to take in to feel grateful and fulfilled about. Whereas if you're seeing the world through kind of a fearful and bitter lens, there's going to be more things your brain's going to take in to feel fearful and bitter about. And I want to stress the importance here of the brain. It's not bias. Okay, it's not saying this is good and this is bad and we only want the bad or we only want the good. No, everything is neutral. So, when we say fear and gratitude, those are both neutral. Okay, it's just what you want to experience and what you want to see more of. So then that goes to the question, what do we actually want to filter more in? Opportunities, positivity, joy, a blue Jeep? think of what you really want out of this life and what you really want out of this experience and what you want to see. And your brain's going to start following suit. Your reticular activating system is going to follow suit automatically. So, this is where it gets really fun. We're talking about the brain being a supercomputer. We're talking about you being the programmer, but what's the operating system? What is the base operating system? Well, I believe that the operating system is identity. It's literally identity. So, okay, think about when you're trying to change a habit, you're trying to change an action in your life. And let's just say you made a New Year's resolution to go to the gym every day, but you haven't gone to the gym in years. So it's going to take some, getting used to. But you just start doing it. You just start going to the gym every day. And the first week, it feels pretty good. You have the adrenaline. And by the second week, your body is so tired. You don't want to do it. It's like everything is pushing you not to. Okay? And the motivation completely drops. It's the how am I supposed to go and do these squats? Like, I don't even want to move. I don't even want to get out of bed. Okay? This is because you're trying to change the habit, but haven't taken on that new identity yet. And identity, the cool part of it is a lot of it is built in the mind. A lot of it is built in the visualization process. So if you're trying to change the habit, but you're not at the identity of the person that would do that habit, it's basically like trying to tell your supercomputer to run a different software, but you're refusing to update the operating system. Okay? If someone's going to identify as unhealthy, the brain is going to start collecting data and evidence to support that identity, and healthy habits are going to feel difficult. So it might feel kind of backwards. You might feel like, well, if I do this action, then my identity is automatically going to be built. I actually think it's the flip. I think it's the reverse. We want to build the identity first. Okay? It does sound kind of backwards, but hear me out. So, what would the identity be of someone who goes to the gym daily? How would they think? How would they act? What would they eat? How much sleep would they get? What would they tolerate? What would they not tolerate? What would they make time for? And here's like the most important part. I want you to visualize that version of you. If you can put on some brainwave frequencies, okay? Go to YouTube, pop some brainwave frequencies on. We want to get our brain to a very low state. And we want to visualize this person, visualize being that person and stepping into that role and stepping into that new identity. Visualize these habits as you. And the more you visualize it, this is a very right brain activity. Whereas as trying to change the habit, you're just trying to force something with the left brain. But we need to use both of our brains. We need to use this visualization practice. So that program begins to install the more you visualize and literally let it seep into every cell of your being. Like you are them and they are you. Okay. The habits are going to start to run automatically. This is because your brain is like, okay, that is me. This is me. You're creating the vision and then you're executing on the vision by stepping into that identity consciously and actively. We're putting it into the subconscious with the visualization. We're going to step into the subconscious in just a minute here. And then we're acting on that. Okay? The brain starts running the identity on autopilot. So now let's dive into the subconscious. Let's go a little deeper here. Identity is the operating system, but it's not like you're thinking, this is my identity. This is who I am. Okay. This is the actions I need to take. Blah, da, 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 da. These are my beliefs. Okay. It's the same thing as not thinking like, I need to blink now. I need to breathe now. Okay. I need my heart to beat now. No, like we're not thinking about that 24/7. Our body is doing that automatically. This is the subconscious. This is when we're going to a deeper level than what you're consciously perceiving. Right now, you're sitting here listening to me. You're consciously taking information in. But what is the subconscious? The subconscious is the realm beneath what you're taking in. This is what keeps your heart beating. This is what keeps your eyes blinking. This is what keeps your body moving and grooving. This also stores all of your beliefs that you've learned about yourself and the world over time. It stores your memories. It stores your automatic behaviors. It stores your habits. It stores your patterns. Okay. The role of the subconscious is to keep you safe and to conserve as much energy as possible. Think about brushing your teeth. You're not thinking about every bristle on your teeth. Or, like, when you have a commute that you do often, like maybe you go to work and you're driving home from work, and sometimes you get to your house and you're like, what just, like, how did I get here? I don't even remember driving. Okay. That's literally because it's running on an automatic pattern. It's a subconscious pattern. It's an automation of the brain. And that's the crazy thing is, it doesn't just automate behaviors, it automates your emotional responses, your beliefs, your expectations. So, going back to the gym example, when you are visualizing this new person, you are visualizing it and you are putting this into the subconscious mind. You are changing your identity from the inside out, which is all about what we're doing here, baby. It's inside out work. Okay. So, if you spent years believing I'm always behind, or I'm awkward, or I just don't have the confidence to do that, I'm bad with money, I never finish anything, your subconscious begins acting like these statements are true. These statements are facts. And that becomes your identity. And it literally filters in information to match those beliefs. Do you see how this is all just like a big circle connection? I'm trying to get out here, circle. This is all connected here. Like, it's amazing and magical, but also kind of insane at the same time, because we're like, these beliefs from XYZ years ago are influencing the way that I see the world and I act. Yes. Yes. That's why we need to reprogram. And that's why you have the power to reprogram. What has once been programmed, what has once been learned, can be reprogrammed, can be relearned. Okay? We have the capacity to change. The subconscious is then going to lead to your brain looking for proof and searching for evidence that your existing beliefs are correct. This is called confirmation bias in psychology. If you believe people cannot be trusted, you're going to notice when people cannot be trusted. You're going to notice every little thing, every broken promise. If you believe the world is scary and evil and bad and dark, you're going to find evidence for that everywhere. But if you believe in the beauty and the magic of the world and the beauty and the magic of other people, you're going to see that as well. If you believe you're capable, you're going to see possibilities you would have ignored before. And you would have ignored them before because your brain was actively filtering them out. When your attention changes, you're going to see new things. You seeing new things begins to reprogram your mind and the cycle expands. Okay? Beliefs are not permanent. That is not permanent. Our programming is not permanent. What has been learned can be relearned. All right? So here's what I want you to start paying attention to. I want you to start paying attention to the extremes or the absolutes. So, for example, I always, I never, I'm just someone who, I'm not good with XYZ. These are a key indicator. Ding, 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 ding. That's a belief. And that belief is shaping your identity. If you want to change yourself and your habits, start paying attention to other people, first of all. Like, if this is true for someone else, if they're able to do this, then it can't possibly be true for everyone. So that means my belief about this for me is wrong. That was kind of a muddled example, but okay. What would someone with the identity I want, what would they choose to believe instead? And look for examples. Look for examples of that. What do you want in this world? Do you want more freedom to travel? Look for examples of someone traveling a bunch and like how they're doing it and what they do and what they believe about the world to be able to do these things. And then start kind of taking those beliefs on yourself. So, with your own beliefs, I want you to ask yourself, with going back to those absolutes, like I always, Who would you be without this belief? Now, this can be a little bit shocking to the ego because we like to cling on to things as us, as what we believe to be us. But really, you're more fluid than that. You're more fluid than anything you think yourself to be. What evidence exists that this belief isn't completely true? Look for other people. You say, I'm struggling with money, but someone's over here making millions in their sleep. Well, what 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 would they have to believe to be true? How are they doing this? Okay? Then I want you to act from those beliefs and those identities in really small ways. So going back to the visualization, start seeing yourself first. We want to start with the internal world, seeing yourself first, and then take action on that and train your brain that this is safe. It's all Gucci. It's all good for me to be different. Okay. Your brain's going to want to be like, that's not what we do. And you get to be like, yeah, but this is what we do now. And this is what we're going to continue to do. Okay. The brain's flexible. It's always learning. You get to teach it. You get to be the teacher. All right. So, is your mind actually creating reality? Now, this is where science and spirituality are having a really interesting conversation, because I'm not saying your thoughts are magically causing everything that happens. That's like a recipe for psychosis. If you think your thinking is causing every single thing around you, no, baby, life is life. Okay? There are lessons for us to learn. Unexpected things are going to happen. People are going to make choices outside of your control. Circumstances are going to happen outside of your control. But your mind does shape how you interpret events, what opportunities you notice, how you respond, what actions you take, what risks you avoid, how persistent you become, what possibilities you believe exist. So, two different people can experience the exact same event. Okay. One person can see total, utter, chaotic failure, and the other person can see feedback and a chance to learn. One person's going to quit and give up, the other person's going to grow. The event didn't change, but the way the people are seeing it and seeing themselves through this lens of the event is different. The meaning changed. So the paths are different. Okay? You see how the power of the mind works. We're not, controlling everything around us. Okay? We're controlling our reactions and how we act and what we do. All right? So, there's one thing I hope you take away from this episode. It's that your mind is not just observing your life. Your mind is participating in creating the experience of your life. Your beliefs are shaping what you see around you, what you notice. And what you notice is going to influence how you feel. And how you feel is going to influence what you do and how you act. And what you repeatedly do and how you repeatedly act becomes the life that you build and the life that you experience. Okay? So maybe instead of being like, what is this? What is happening to me? Why is this always? Not to get the always out there. We want to ask, what else could be true? What beliefs do I have to be believing for this to be the outcome? What opportunities am I overlooking? What identity am I reinforcing today? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And how can you visualize being that person and making it easier on yourself to create these habits? Okay? We're changing the lens. We're changing the lens in which we see reality. So, thank you so much for spending time with me on this first ever episode of the Curiosity Portal. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love if you subscribed and you shared. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next episode with more mind magic and whatever other magic will be brought up.